Hey y'all, Jared Sandler with you. Time now for today's Rangers game memory. And I'm actually going to go to a stretch of games, just a few games in July of 2015. We're going to start with a Tuesday night game between the Rangers and the Yankees. Not a game that Rangers fans are going to remember for good reasons necessarily. Martin Perez got the start for the Rangers. And getting the start for the Yankees was Chris Capuano, who was just kind of at the end of his career. Well, Martin Perez put up a scoreless first inning, and then the Rangers knocked Chris Capuano out of the game before the first inning even ended. They took a 5-0 lead through one, but then the rest didn't go so well. The Yankees scored 11 runs in the second inning. They ended up winning the game 21-5, and the Rangers fell to 5 games under 500. So horrible game, right? When you lose 21-5 versus 6-5, it's still one loss in the standings, but there's something of a gut punch when you lose 21-5. The Rangers had already made a great run in May and in a little bit of June and then slowed down. So, maybe that thought that the Rangers were going to get back into the AL West was just a little bit of false hope at that time. But then the very next night, all of a sudden, in the middle of the game on Twitter, rumors started heavily circulating that the Rangers had acquired Cole Hamels. Now, it was a big deal, if you remember. The Rangers got Cole Hamels and Jake Diekman. They traded 5 guys: Jake Thompson, Alec Asher, Jared Eichhoff, Jorge Alfaro, Nick Williams. So big deals like that don't just get consummated with the snap of the fingers. So that was a Wednesday night. The Rangers beat the Yankees that night 5-2, and Colby Lewis, very fittingly, because it seemed like he always kind of stepped up in those situations, got the win. Rangers bounced back after getting throttled. It was the next night that kind of stands out. The Rangers beat the Yankees 7-6. Josh Hamilton had a walk-off single against Andrew Miller. Current Ranger Nick Goody actually pitched in that game earlier for the New York Yankees. But what happened after is what really stood out to me. Keone Kela had a really interesting tenure with the Rangers. He is your typical late inning reliever in that he's got a lot of emotion and for the most part, when he's on the mound, used for good. But he had some challenges off the field, and those challenges have kind of persisted. But on certain days, Keone was a guy you maybe didn't want to talk to. You wanted to give him some space, but other days he was a really interesting person to talk to. And I think at the end of the day, Keone has a really good heart. I think he means really well. I just think that, like all of us, he has certain challenges, and that's just kind of the reality. But after that Thursday game, I think if my memory is not too foggy, it became very clear who was a part of the deal. The deal did not become official until the very next day. But on the 30th, the night before the deal became official, it was very clear that, all right, these guys are in the deal, these guys are going to Texas, etc. After the game, Keone raced from Arlington to Frisco because most of the guys getting traded, if not all of them, were in Frisco at the time. And these are some, certainly former organizational mates. Some of these guys were former teammates of Keone when he was coming up through the system. And it just always stuck out to me that after the game, Keone made the trip from Arlington to Frisco, absolutely raced. And Keone lived in Dallas, so it's not like he was going home to go and meet these guys after their game and say goodbye to them. And that always stood out to me. So, those 3 or 4 days were really significant in Rangers history because the Rangers got Cole Hamels, and coming off a 21-5 loss, they get the rumors start the next day. They end up beating the Yankees the next 2 games. They then beat Madison Bumgarner and the Giants on the 31st, and all of a sudden the Rangers are back to 2 games under 500, and it was only a week later that they got back over 500 and really made their push to ultimately win the AL West, and Cole Hamels was a huge part of that. So was Keone Kela. But I just thought it was really cool that Keone would haul tail to catch these guys and just simply go and say goodbye to them. So I guess not one specific game, but a series of games that stand out, and one action by Keone Kela that will always stand out to me. That's my Rangers, I guess we'll still call it a game memory for today. I would love for you to continue to share yours. Hopefully you're tuning into these, and you can record a video, you can tweet, you can do whatever. I would love to hear some of your game memories. I'll continue to post mine here on Twitter, and you can find them online at 1053thefan.com.